I wonder who knows I'm vacationing here at the Oasis.
Am I late?
You!
Surprised?
How did you find me?
I have my ways.
Would you like to come in for coffee? You don't need to answer. There's no need to speak. I'll be your belly dancer, prancer.
And I will be your sheep. I don't need a harem, honey, when you're by my side. And you won't need a camel, no, no, when I take you for a ride.
We'll need some coffee to go with that ride, won't we?
Well, you're always full of surprises. But say, I wonder, do we have time for that coffee?
What time is it?
What time is it? Haven't you been paying attention? It's midnight at the Oasis.
Oh,
Thank you.
good.
Chris Scouser here with
Matt Howell.
on this episode of The First Run. Matt and I are going to discuss Sam Raimi's first horror film, Matt, since Drag Me to Hell from 2009. This time it's going to be Send Help, and that's it. Actually, you know what? No, Matt, I'm going to delay or drag things out a little bit longer because I had a breakthrough with the MCU that I'm very excited to share with you. Let's just take a minute or two. But then that's it. For real. So, I guess... Good. We're ready to move on. You okay if we move on now and hear a clip from Send Help? Because I am vamping because I realized the theme song is still playing. I think I got about 1 second left. And here we go.
Now, I'm going to be frank with you, if that's all right. I know that you are great with numbers. Kind of a savant, right?
I am good with numbers, yes.
Yes, and I've carefully reviewed a lot of that work, and it is impressive. So, that's the positive.
Thank you.
But I don't see you as being somebody who's ready for an executive position quite yet.
Why?
I guess as a VP, I would need somebody who is more of a people person. You know, somebody by my side who is well-liked, who can charm a room, who can make a deal, somebody who golfs. Does that make sense?
You're joking?
No, I just don't think you got it.
I don't think she's got it, Matt. What is Send Help all about?
So Linda is a corporate strategist for a company, and her boss has promised her a promotion to VP. Well, her boss, the CEO, unfortunately dies, and his son takes over, Bradley. And Bradley has no intention of giving this position that was promised to Linda, instead decides to give it to his bro, Donovan. To torment Linda some more, he invites her on a private plane, which promptly goes down and crashes in the ocean. And they're stuck together on a deserted island somewhere in the Gulf of Thailand. And it comes to find out that Linda is a bit of a survivalist badass. And the script is flipped on the dynamic.
Very nice. And did you notice, too, who the deceased original owner of the company was?
I did, yeah. I mean, he had to be there. He had to come around. But I was thinking, was the Delta in there? I didn't see the Delta. Did you see the Delta?
I'm not even sure I know what you're referring to as the Delta.
So Sam Raimi's car, Ash's car, has been in every single one of his his movies, and I don't recall seeing the Delta anywhere.
I never referred to it as the Delta before. Okay, but yeah, no, I don't think it was. It's a great question. We'll have to look into that, Matt. I don't even know when it would have. Is there a scene like no? There's the plane. There's the office. There's her apartment, and then the island. That's it, right? And then the other thing at the end.
Yeah.
But oh wow, that's I think there's another movie where it wasn't actually there, but I'm trying to remember what it was. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll have to do some research on that. So Matt, what are your thoughts on Send Help? I know you and I. Well, I shouldn't say you and I are big fans of Sam Raimi. I am a larger fan of Monsieur Raimi than you are. The Evil Dead films have a special place in my heart.
Yep.
but I still think you enjoy his output. And how did this work for you? How did you think Raimi handled the tonal shifts? Because I honestly, there are times I felt like we were just abandoning the horror aspects of this film entirely, but then they come roaring back.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think this is interesting because I think this is one of, I think maybe really Raimi's only true horror film, I guess, that isn't supernatural related, right? And I think that kind of will throw you for a loop if you're a longtime Raimi fan, because there's no deadites, there's no witch cursing you or anything like that, right? This is all just gross thriller, survival horror type stuff. But overall, it's very effective. It's very darkly funny. It's very gross. If I have one complaint of this film, is that it seems to me that with this and Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi seems to either like to let people torture people who don't necessarily deserve it, like in Drag Me to Hell, or reward people who are absolutely terrible, which is in this film as well. Because, make no mistake, Bradley's a piece of shit, but so is Linda. And that's really kind of where you go through this whole thing. And kind of where you land on the kind of wallowing in the worst parts of human nature is really how you're going to enjoy this film.
So the Delta is in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And I'm very disappointed that neither of us caught it.
Okay.
When she's in her car crying in the parking garage, if you look through the back window, allegedly, it's almost takes up the entire scene behind her.
Gotcha.
So
and by the way, we didn't answer it. Yes, Bruce Campbell makes a kind of cameo as the deceased boss. I won't spoil it to where he shows up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting too, because you did get a reveal later on in the film. Rachel Adams may be not the meek person who has finally found her inner strength. Mm-hmm. That something else actually may be going on with her. Though I still think that he cast her in a positive light because of the situation she was involved in that maybe caused her to do what she did. Mm-hmm. But then, she does take a dark turn, though, in this film. Absolutely.
Right. But here's the thing, Chris. There are at least 3 separate occasions where she makes choices that really only benefit her. Some of which, maybe just 2 small murders, like just a little bit of murder. But other than that, and 2, self-serving decisions, right? So it kind of, I think, twists the knife that, yes, she was put upon, and yes, she was tortured and treated like shit by these people who are undeserving. When now she's in a position of power, she's absolutely no better. It's really like kind of what he's like laying out there for you.
No, I think that's entirely fair. And I think, as I said, there's part of the film too that I was a little worried we were going to be running too straightforward. We spent a lot of time at one point on the beach. Mm-hmm. Now, Raimi, I think, successfully gives us little glimpses into Linda's true character, like Matt says. We don't want to spoil them for you, but there's little things that happen and decisions she makes along the way. But there are also long stretches, it felt like to me, where we're just doing Survivor kind of stuff that, or having attempted, I guess, emotional moments between the two of them that I think are mostly successful. But for some reason, again, it just felt elongated. Like it just seemed to, stuff on the beach seemed to run a little too long for me. Almost felt a little bit like padding at times. Mm-hmm. But then things really ramp up into gear again, right? And I think there is the requisite amount that we need of toadyism and of sexism, how she's treated in the office. Our buddy there, Donovan, who is the up-and-comer guy who's going to get her job, just a slimy little guy who thankfully meets his rightful end as well. But when things get to the plane too, Matt, I think really the humiliation and horror kicks in for Linda when they're watching that thing that she did. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I feel like the cringe in it. I felt horrible for her in that moment. But once we're finally on the beach and it's just the two of them, that's where the kind of the real cat and mouse game begins. As Matt says, the roles are basically reversed. And I think it's really entertaining. I think Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien really anchor this entire thing, particularly McAdams as the meek office worker who maybe doesn't necessarily come into her own, but just maybe reveals, her true character, becomes a person maybe she always has been inside. And I really, I'm not the biggest Rachel McAdams fan. I never have been. Former co-host of the show, Espo, was a massive fan of hers. That Morning Glory episode still sits in my back of my brain to this day.
Right, but you got to think that there's a specific scene where Rachel McAdams and Patrick Wilson are getting intimate that I think makes the rounds on the internet constantly, which I think is part of the reason that Espo liked that movie so much.
Yeah, and I'll still never forget that scene where they're running through the causeway, not the causeway, but the outside and all and the umbrellas and everything. I got so angry at that.
You did. You were so... Chris was apoplectic about this. He was so angry about how it was unearned artistic, slow motion running and all this kind of stuff. It was chef's kiss. Top tier Chris.
It still gets my blood pressure going to this day. So, but yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with this, man. I think I saw in Blue Sky too, which I appreciated. I noticed this too. How happy I am that Sam Raimi is always able to sneak in someone looking like they're turning into a Deadite in his movies. Because there are a couple moments like that in this film, particularly with Linda. She looks like she's been possessed by the Necronomicon at some point. And I think that one of the big takeaways I had with this, Matt, too, is it's just I feel like we're robbed of Raimi's lack of output.
Yeah.
I think few directors have the eye for carnage, chaos, and humor like Raimi does, and is able to perfectly orchestrate it into these films. And I will say too, eyes. I feel like lately he's really been focused on eyes popping out. Well, no, I guess Evil Dead 2 though, that was a big kind of moment in the film. But eyes take a beating in this movie, so prepare yourself for that. But just for me, I think Send Help, Matt, was a wonderful reminder, I think, of just Raimi's capabilities. I just wish we would get a film from him a little more often than we do, particularly in this vein.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that, Raimi kind of put out a kind of mid-market fun film in January. It's not huge. It's right in his wheelhouse. It's not a sequel or a remake or any kind of shared universe or anything like that. It's just a straight-up thriller, horror film, black comedy, and he's excellent at it, and I'm glad to see that he is kind of getting back to making movies like this. Now, granted,
I hope so.
I think he's, I don't think this is necessarily his strongest work, but it's still strong work from a director who's comfortable in his powers at this point in his career.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. And I think just the sheer entertainment value too, I'm going to give Send Help a B+.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a B. That's my grade on it. I think it's a really fun film. You know what? We've had at least a couple decent films here in the first quarter, especially in January, which is unheard of, really.
Well, we'll see next week. And again, kudos to Rachel McAdams, who I don't think I've seen her in a role like this in the past. It goes to some dark places. It gets really gooey and icky at times as well. So good for her to being totally game for something like this, kind of crazy at times. So, yeah. So the last one we did was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Before that was Oz the Great and Powerful, which I don't think I even saw.
I didn't see it either.
And then prior to that was Drag Me to Hell.
Wow.
So
not a lot of output there, Mr. Raimi.
He's producing stuff up the wazoo, but that's about it, I think. He basically produces a film every year.
Right.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add about the Mr. Raimi and Send Help?
No. Go check it out.
Yeah. Just a couple great moments of sweet, sweet Raimi chaos and wonderfully shocking moments of violence at times. Prepare yourself, because there are you almost get lulled into a feeling of safety, as the film unfurls, and then there's just these shocking moments of brutal violence that are just really just kind of like, oh my god. A couple of times I reacted that way. So I'm glad to see the old boys still got some pep in them left. So that's good to see.
It's got some pep in the step.
If you had a chance to see Send Help, which is currently in theater, shoot us an email at feedback@thefirstrun.com. Matt, I'm going to close it out. It's been a couple minutes, not long, and I'm curious to see if you have anything to add to this, if you've had a chance to watch it yet. One of the big issues I've had with the MCU is I just feel like it's so rote. It's the same thing basically over and over again. Matt was like, well, the Fantastic Four film righted all that. It fixed those things. It was really trying to do something different. And Matt said, if you can't get on board with this, I don't think you can get on board with the MCU. But now, Matt, that I've finished Wonder Man in basically 3 days, I feel hope again.
Okay.
For the MCU. I was really, really impressed with this show. And I think one of the biggest things about it is I think how shamefully Disney has treated this, how the MCU has treated this show. Mm-hmm. First off, they drop all 8 episodes at once, put them all out, which is a crime, I think, because each episode has a fantastic kind of little cliffhanger to lead you to the next one to build up anticipation. But I mean, I guess I'm glad I get to watch it, but you can't give the show's not going to get any legs. It's not going to get any life because of that. Mm-hmm. And it's not your typical superhero fare in any capacity. And Yahya Abdul-Mateen plays Simon Williams, and he brings... There's just a humanity and a naturalism to this, along with Ben Kingsley, who returns as well as Trevor Slattery or the Mandarin. I can't really do how he does it. And then the relationship that develops between the two of them, it is one of the most emotionally engaging and caring things I've seen in any MCU product. And I was just kind of swept up in it, Matt. I was really, because this is a character-focused, not superhero, villains, big, fight scenes, any of that stuff. This is a very intimate kind of experience, and I found it to be wonderful. I absolutely loved it. Have you had a chance to see any of Wonder Man yet?
No, I have not seen it. So I decided, because I actually never watched the Netflix Punisher series. Mm-hmm. I have been watching that. I will catch up with Daredevil Born Again, because I haven't watched any of those either. And
I haven't watched Born Again yet.
Yeah. And a couple of them have, the second season's just coming out. But I'd heard nothing but good things about Wonder Man, right? So I'm excited to see it. I do want to see it. And I do have to say this. Wonder Man as a character in the comics, I always thought really hokey and stupid, and I never liked him, but I mean, that's the point of the character, right? So I'm very curious to see what they do with this and how they sell it. But I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed it. I'm glad to hear that it's enjoyable, and I'm looking forward to it more now.
Yeah, the Simon Williams in this show is not anything like the comic book character. So, I was a West Coast Avengers guy. I read almost that entire run. I really liked that book at the time. I was a big Hawkeye fan. I don't know why. I just was.
Right. Okay.
And Simon Williams is Wonder Man. He started out as a bad guy, and he actually goes back and forth. Not so much maybe as a bad guy, but as a guy with his own motivations and his own sense of morality. And that's not just, it's throw that out the window. There's no connection really outside of the name. And I guess that's basically it. So there's a lot of great homages to the different Wonder Man costumes. I even got to see, there's a whole episode dedicated, Matt, to a Great Lakes Avenger.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I never thought I'd see a Great Lakes Avenger in an MCU property. So that was a lot of fun too. So, and just the way they shoot it, the way it's just, not only does it look gorgeous, but the storytelling is different for an MCU thing. And again, it's the core emotional connection, the relationships that make it really interesting and a fun watch. Yeah, it's great. You should definitely check it out.
All right, I will. I will check it out and report back in.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
And that'll be it for this week, Matt. What's coming up next week on The Big Show?
We're checking out the latest version of Dracula, starring Caleb Landry Jones as the titular count, but directed by Luc Besson. So that's let's temper our expectations a little bit here.
Yeah, but I think that our boy Christoph Waltz plays Van Helsing.
Oh, nice.
So I like Caleb Landry Jones, but I just don't see him as
he doesn't
Dracula.
seem suave enough to me. Like, he seems more
no disrespect,
menacing. But I mean, granted, that's all the roles that I've seen him play are like menacing, scary guys, right? Whereas he needs to be a suave, scary guy in this one. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. Interesting to see. You ever seen, I don't know if I talked about it. You ever see the Langella Dracula?
You've talked about it a lot and how much you really like it, but I've never seen it.
I think it's because I watched it last year and I was so excited about seeing it for the first time since I was a kid. And I really. My mom loved it. She had a poster of it too. It was crazy. So, all right.
Frank Langella was it last year or maybe the year before? He was eating at a restaurant behind us. I sat there and like
said
was
this, yeah.
staring at him the whole time. I'm like, who the hell is that? Like, and it took me a while to figure it out. But yeah, like in Kent, Connecticut, or Litchfield, Connecticut, where the hell we were, somewhere in Western Connecticut.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to be it for this week on The Big Show. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky. Just do a search for The First Run, and eventually you'll find us. Head on over to Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. It'll help other people find the show. Head over to thefirstrun.com, and you can find archives of all the old shows. There's a player there and more. And I guess, Matt, that will be it for this week. So we're going to go ahead, take an extended break. We love you all very much. Please take care of yourselves, and we will see you soon.
Hail to the king, baby.